Hi everyone, today I'm going to show you how to make this fun Lego card. It's quite easy to make and it did start out as a design when I was thinking about something to make for the boys in your life, and I think you'll agree that Lego is good for any age of boy. But the more I was making and thinking about this card, the more I thought actually there's a lot of girls out there and I'm one of them that love Lego, so it really does depend on who you're going to give it to, what colour of bricks you might use, and you can turn it quite easily from a boy card into a girl card, and I'm going to show you how. Now, some of you may have noticed that if I haven't got quite the right stamp for the card design that I've come up with, I'll make my own greetings by using my computer, and this Lego card is no different to those, because I just wanted words that went with the concept of building with Lego, and so I've designed an inner and a greeting specifically for this card. And if you want the PDF file to print out your own inner and greeting to go with a Lego card if you decide to make one, then I'll leave you the link at the end of this video that will take you back to my blog, and on my sidebar, my right hand sidebar, you'll find my email address. So just drop me an email and I'll send you the files so that you can print them out yourself. If you do choose to use my printed inner and greeting, then you're first of all going to need to cut or trim around your greeting. I'm using my guillotine to do this, and I'm just trimming it so that I have the thick black line remaining on the outside. If you're intending to print your own greeting, then the outside box of this measures 4 3/4 by 7 inches, and I used a thick black line and then printed my text inside. If you're going to create this out of 2 pieces of cardstock and you want to start with a piece of black, that is also going to measure 4 3/4 by 7 inches, and then cut your piece of white cardstock to measure 6 3/4 by 4.5 inches, and then you can layer those 2 pieces together and stamp your greeting as you wish. So to make this card, you're going to need strips of card to make your Lego, and you're going to choose your own colour scheme with which to do that. So it's a great way of using up scraps. As you can see, I'm using red, blue, yellow and black, and I suggest you keep an accent colour such as black or navy blue. It just works well, as the black works well as a matte for your greeting and the front of your card. So you're going to need 4 colours in all and 2 strips of each colour. So each of my strips measure 8 inches or 8 1/4 inches by 3/4 of an inch. You'll also need a piece of coordinating thread, and with the inner, if you've chosen to print mine, you'll have a greeting which you need to cut out. So I'll give you the measurements for the greeting, and as you can see there's a line which you can cut along to cut your greeting out. You may see 2 of everything as you watch this video, and that's mainly because I'm using this card in a card class and I'm videoing my making the sample so that I can share this design with you. So you will see from time to time that I've got more than one element on my desk. So I've got 2 greetings, but you will have one when you print out your sheet, and it measures 1.5 by 2.5 inches if you're just cutting a white piece of card and stamping it yourself. I suggest you pick one of the card colours that you're using for your Lego as your base card, and you need to cut a piece that measures 11.5 inches by 8 inches, and then you're going to fold that or score that at 5 3/4 inches and fold it in half. Then you want to cut a piece of black cardstock that measures 4 3/4 inches by 7 inches to go on the front of your card. And Swiss dot works well for this because it already has that kind of Lego texture, although you won't be able to see much of it when we put the piece of white cardstock on top. So use double-sided tape, and then you're going to position it in the centre of your card front. Next, cut a piece of white cardstock that measures 6 3/4 inches by 4.5 inches, and then put that centrally on your card front, again using double-sided tape. And we can also add double-sided tape to the back of our greeting and attach that centrally on the inside of the card. So if you've stamped your greeting, you're ready to wrap a piece of thread around between the 2 portions of the greeting, and I'm just going slightly off camera here, but I've got a piece of coordinating thread to match one of the colours of my Lego bricks, and I'm just wrapping it around 3 times, and I'm just attaching a little bit of double-sided tape to hold all the ends in place, and as you can see I've crossed them over in the middle, and that's where my little Lego brick embellishment will go at the end. Next you're going to cut a piece of black cardstock that measures 1 3/4 by 2 3/4 inches, and then you're going to attach the two pieces together using foam pads. And as you can see, I had a little bit of doodling on this one, I don't know why, but it doesn't matter because you won't be able to see it, and I'm just attaching that centrally onto the black cardstock, and that's ready to attach once I have all my Lego bricks in place. And now we're going to have fun creating all our Lego pieces, and I'm just cutting my foam pads into little squares because they're the most convenient thing to use when attaching the Lego blocks to your card. Now I've suggested a 3/4 inch strip as the starting point for creating the Lego blocks, and the reason I've done this is because I've measured my blocks so that I've got a double block, a single block and then a half block, and they all fit neatly across the bottom and along the side of my card. So if you choose to do different measurements to make your Lego blocks, then you'll have to work that out for yourself. So my double blocks measure 1.5 inches long, so 3/4 inch by 1.5 inches. Once again, I'm going to give you the cutting guide for this card over on my blog, so I'll leave you a link with this video so that you can get to that post on my blog, and you'll be able to find all the dimensions for this card, including these Lego blocks and how many of each colour, which obviously you can substitute for any colour that you want to use, but it'll give you a guide to how many of each brick you need to make. So I'm cutting a series of bricks that measure 1.5 inches by 3/4 inch. They are the large bricks. Then I'm going to cut a series of bricks that measure 3/4 inch square, and they are my medium-sized bricks, and then I'm going to cut that measurement in half, so 3/4 inch by 3/8 inch for my very small bricks, and then we're going to have the single brick at the end that goes on the greeting, so that's 3/8 inch by 3/8 inch. So I won't bore you with me cutting out all these pieces of card, but you'll get the full cutting list over at my blog. And I found the best way to do this was to prepare all your Lego bricks first. So they've all been cut out and I've got the right number for my card. And then I'm just attaching 2 foam pads to the back of the large blocks and single foam pads to the back of the medium-sized blocks. This sounds a bit like Goldilocks and the Three Bears. And then for the little bitty baby blocks, I've cut them in half again, and I'm just preparing all of my blocks ready to space out and stick onto the front of my card. Put aside 1 large brick and 2 small bricks for the inside of your card. I suggest that you also keep handy a printout of the front of this card so that you get the layout of the bricks. So what I'm doing is spacing the bottom row and the left hand side row out, so I'm not pressing my Lego bricks down too hard because I might need to move them about for the spacing. And by all means you can put your bricks onto your card front however you like, but it's probably easiest in the first instance to follow my guide. So I've got a red brick at the bottom, a large brick followed by a black medium brick, followed by a blue large brick, followed by a small, or the very smallest yellow brick, and then I've gone up the side following the same idea, and then it's easy once you've got your spacing right to fill in the rest of your little tower of building blocks. I've also decided that with the printout that I'm going to set up for you, I'll also include a photograph of the front of the card so you can get the layout quite easily without flicking between blog and video, and or pausing the video. And also I'm going to give you the little list of bricks and how many bricks you need to cut out, because I've got room on there because it only has the greeting in the inner to include those 2 elements. So I thought they'd be quite useful. And the next thing that you can do once you've spaced your bricks out and you have your brick tower built is to attach your greeting. And you can see that I've attached a small square to the centre, which measures 3/8 inch square, and I'm attaching the greeting in position with foam pads. Now we're ready for the fun part, to make our little shapes of card look like Lego bricks. Now, I know you're going to think this is a little bit of overkill. How come she's got so many little dots punched out? Well, that's because I have prepared all these little dots for my class, and so I'm going to be using those for my card. Now, I suggest if you want to create a little bit of depth to the little, I don't know what to call them, dots on your Lego bricks, then I suggest you use a silicone glue. And I use Pinflair, and because it comes with a little syringe, it's easy to make little dots. And I'm putting 2 dots on each of the small bricks, 4 on each of the medium-sized bricks, and 8 on the large bricks. And then it's a case of finding a good way to pick up all the little dots. Now, if you've got one of those little tools with a sticky end, that's probably the best and most hygienic thing to use. But if you haven't got one, and if you don't have one of those little pickup tools, then you can do what I'm doing here. And I'm not going to say it out loud, but I'm just wetting the end of my paintbrush a little bit, not quite so hygienic, and I'm using that just to pick up each of the little dots and then position them on my little dots of glue gel. So if you want to use, or if you haven't got any silicone, you can use glue to do this. You just won't get quite the same depth to the tops of your Lego bricks. So silicone works well, plus it's easy to reposition the dots so that you get a nice even spread, and that all your little dots are uniform, which they would be obviously on a Lego brick. And it's worth taking the time to make sure you get a nice even finish to each of these little dots. I found it best to work in colour groups, so I've put my silicone on all of my blue bricks to start with, and then I'm going to work my way through each of the colours on the front of my card. And this is where the card really comes to life, just adding these little dots to make these little pieces of card look exactly like Lego bricks. Now, I used a hole punch to create all of these little dots, and they measure roughly 1/4 inch in diameter. Don't forget when you do the yellow bricks that you're also going to put one little dot on that single brick that you've got on your greeting. And then finally, and not so easy to see, I'm adding the black dots to the black bricks. And to decorate the card inner, I've attached one large yellow brick, one medium-sized red and one medium-sized blue, and I've piled them up in the bottom right hand corner as you look at the card. And I used glue this time to attach the little bricks, and I'm using glue, or little dots of glue, to attach the card dots this time, because obviously you don't want the inside of your card to have the same dimension as the outside, but it still gets the same look. And you can see here, if you did choose to use glue, you can still see that this is supposed to be Lego. So it's not the end of the world if you don't have any silicone glue. You can use glue to achieve the same look. So there you have it, a really easy card to make. And this one, using these colours, is fit for a boy. And then change your colours and you've got one fit for a girl. And I've just noticed that I've missed the little block off my greeting, so I'll have to go and fix that. But you get the picture. Whoever it is in your life that likes Lego, be it a boy or a girl, you can just mix up your colours and make a card to suit them. I really hope that you find this tutorial fun and easy to follow, and if you like my YouTube channel, then don't forget to subscribe. I'll put some links at the end of this video that will take you back to my blog so that you can get your hands on the printouts if you want them. Also, while you're over there, if you do choose to subscribe either to this channel or to my blog, then don't forget to email me and let me know, because I've got another little tutorial that I give away free to anyone that asks for it. And all you need is a Tim Holtz Tuttered Florals die, and you'll be making chrysanthemums in no time. These really make a great embellishment, and I just wanted to say a great big thank you to all of you for your support over here on my YouTube channel or my blog. So I look forward to receiving your emails, and until next time, thank you for watching.